Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and today I want to talk about Homelander. Now, this is one of my favorite characters on television. Period. Definitely just such an intriguing person. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare where we see characters so nuanced. Now, first of all, I gotta come clean. I know the comic part and the story or how his comic goes. You know what I'm saying? So the boys comic, that is. So there might be slight comic spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil anything that the show hasn't already covered thus far. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to go beyond where the show is. So any of my comic spoilers will be for everything that happened before or to exactly where we are in the show. Now, one of the most interesting things that we have here with Homelander is they give him mother's milk trait. Now, if you know, in the comic books, mother's milk is the one that be drinking all the milk. I mean, that's why his name is Mother's Milk. For those that don't know, Mother's Milk is the black member of the boys. Now, interestingly, they seem to have given this trope to Homelander himself. He's the one that seems to be licking on milk and going crazy with the milk and needing the milk and all that type of malarkey. So that was interesting to see. I'm not 100% sure why they made that decision. Maybe it's his need for a mother and him wanting a mother figure that he never had, and him never really having a parental figure, to be honest, and essentially raising himself. And, you know, kind of one of the reasons why he's such an outlier and an outlaw. Another interesting change as well is Black Noir. He doesn't seem, I don't know, he's interesting because we saw his face and he's burnt. Comic book readers know exactly what I'm talking about. That was really, really interesting as well. So I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do with that as well. There's a bunch of other changes, but enough about the changes. Let's just talk about Homelander himself in the show, man. So season 1 Homelander, we saw a man raised up to the heavens, and we saw his flaws, and we saw he actually almost just seemed extremely villainous in season 1. Like, he was just a scary motherfucker, just a bad dude. But in this season, this is part 1 of Homelander. We're going to talk about his bad part, you know, the bad guy version of that in video number 2 that's hopefully going to come out next week. But you know, the goodness in him is shown a lot throughout season 2. Now, he still does a lot of bad. He's still a nasty motherfucker. He's still a scary ass dude. He's still a bad individual. You do not want to mess with his mans. You know what I'm saying? But importantly, you also see that he cares. He has trust issues. He's afraid, and he really loves his goddamn son, bro. And when I saw the trailers of him showing his son off that roof, man, I really was thinking, like, man, this guy really crazy. But watching that scene and watching subsequent episodes after that, you kind of realize, like, he was 110% confident that his son can survive that. Because he saw the laser eyes. He saw the kid's eyes glow. And that showed him everything he needed to know. He was like, this kid definitely got my powers. But obviously he's hiding it all, containing it all within. And obviously he discovers that it's because of the mother. And when he finds out about his son, he wants to be a part of it. He wants to really be a part of the family. He wants to raise him. He wants to really be there for him. And in a way, he's more willing than his mother to actually be a good parent. You know what I'm saying? And you can easily make the argument that the mother is only doing what she has to do. Sure. But ultimately, she's still lying to him. She's still hiding things from him. And like, he's not even allowed to watch TV. He can't. He don't know what Twitch is. He don't know who PewDiePie is. Like, he shut up, PewDiePie. He don't know none of that shit, right? So he's over sheltered, you know. So where Homelander was over sheltered with no parental guidance, he's over sheltered with overbearing parental guidance. He has zero freedom. He has zero time or thought. He can't think for himself. Everything he does, his mother says this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I can't hate anybody if I ever say that. I have to put money in the pay jar, which is like, so he's not allowed to paint out anything. He has to keep it all contained. And we see this in one of the subsequent episodes when he explodes to his mother when he finds out, you know, the truth about his neighbors, about the fact that nobody lives out here. This kid ain't never played with another kid his whole life. This kid has only played with his mother, has only lived with his mother, has only everything only with his mother. You know what I'm saying? He ain't know what real life is. He ain't know what an amusement park is. He ain't know what being around people is. So now he has social anxiety, which is visible in the latest episode of The Boys, where, you know, when Homelander brings him to a place where a bunch of kids are at, and then all that attention Homelander gets is too much for the kid. He can't handle that. And he's almost claustrophobic, and he's like, it's too much noise. And I think it's partly because he can't control his powers yet, and he's not used to having that much noise around. He's not used to that many people talking at the same time. He's not used to being able to hone in on exactly what he wants to focus on, because he can't use his powers, which is a volatile thing. Because if you think about it, that's going to create another Homelander, even though the mother's trying to avoid that. But that's what it's going to create, because, for example, if he gets pissed off and he accidentally laser beams, somebody's dead. Spoilers if you haven't watched episode 8. He accidentally slit his mama's throat. If he knew how to use that shit, he probably wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Because the distance between Stormfront and the mother was significant enough where that could have been prevented. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know Homelander isn't amazing with his own laser beams, but with him teaching the kid would ultimately surpass Homelander, because Homelander, like he explains, he had to teach and learn these things by himself. And so when they have that conversation with the mother, Homelander was actually the one in the right there. He's like, but you lying to him. It's not about the fact that you want to protect him, but you lying to him. Tell him the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's what, and he's like, oh no, I'm trying to save, protect, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, you don't know. Like, he's like, you don't know how that is. It's like, no, you don't know how that is, because I was like this. I was sheltered. I was hidden things from. You know what I'm saying? And I started learning things and finding things out myself. And this is what's creating this paranoia. This is why he doesn't trust nobody, because he found out that he was lied to his whole life as well. Homelander was lied to his whole life. He didn't know about Compound V. He didn't know about a lot of these things either. You know what I'm saying? When he found out all these things, and he found out the truth about Compound V, you know, which is obviously I think is it's pre-show. When he finds all these things out, and then he finds out that the person that he considered, like, you know, closest to him, that he used to, you know, suck her milk and shit, she was also not 100% truthful with him. His quote unquote parents weren't truthful to him, and in fact are ashamed of him, and all of these things, including his own teammates not trusting him, like. And all of these things added up over these years. It's just been boiling and boiling and boiling. And now he's at a point where he doesn't give a shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And he wants to do things for himself. He wants to break out and finally be a free person, because he hasn't been. He's just been a corporate guinea pig for most of his life. And now he's trying to break free of that. And you can see the struggle in that. You can still see that there's a little bit of fear of the authority. You can still see that he still cares about what people thinks. Because if you look at that vision where he thinks about laser beaming every motherfucker that was talking shit to him, you know, for a second I thought it happened, and he didn't. He figured, damn, my judgment is getting clouded, like I'm losing my mind, and he flew off. You know what I'm saying? With somebody with that much power, it's not that easy, bro, to control all that shit. It's not that easy, bro, to have all that power and to have such a volatile person, an emotionally imbalanced person that has never really been loved, bro. To have that much power is insane, bro. So that's why you see that he's easily manipulated by Stormfront. And he's also easily disappointed and hurt by Stormfront. To a point he brings her flower, but she has to go do some things and doesn't tell him about it. Because she at first she's like confident around him and trying to make him see her differently by being unafraid. But when they get closer, you know what I'm saying, you start seeing like the Homelander gets very, I'll hold on to your wrist until it breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want to let anything go because he has nothing. You know what I'm saying? He has nothing. He has nobody. So anybody that comes close to him, he does not want to let go. And in this season, we really see that part of him, the hurt side of him. And why am I calling this good guy? There's none of this necessarily means he's a good guy. No, not necessarily, but I think he's a good papa. You know what I'm saying? I know he takes his son away from the mother for a while, but simultaneously, you know, he tries, bro. Somebody that's never been parented is doing okay for somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't know what life is, doesn't know what anything really is like. You know, and he genuinely thinks he's trying to help the American people. He genuinely thinks that he's on the good side. He genuinely thinks that Vought is fucking up. He genuinely thinks these things. You know what I'm saying? Even with Queen Maeve, and Queen Maeve is like, oh, yo, like, why would you do this? Blah, 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 blah. And she's afraid for her life, and she's afraid for her lover's life. But Homelander doesn't seem, I mean, he's aggressive, but it doesn't seem like he was going to harm Maeve's wife, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like it. I have my reasons. Comic readers, y'all understand what I'm talking about. Non-comic readers, y'all might not. But again, the show has taken a lot of liberties, so I'm not expecting it to be the exact same. But comic book readers would understand why it may have that thought in the first place of Homelander perhaps not being quite as bad as people think. If you think about it throughout, he hasn't really hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really hurt nobody. Now, there's a few omissions from the comics that kind of annoyed me, like the fact that the Deep took his role of you know, doing the thing with Starlight, sexual assault and rape. You know, I thought that would add such levity to the character. And again, comic book readers, you understand why I'm saying this. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see how this character continues moving forward. I'm excited to just know more about him. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought he stole the show in season 1. In season 2, he steals it even more. In fact, my favorite scenes are his. In season 1, I thought the boys were better in season 1. Like, them as a collective, I thought the story was stronger in season 1. In season 2, I feel like the boys' story, minus Kimiko and the Frenchie, I think the rest of the boys don't really have a great arc. I feel like Hughie didn't grow much. I mean, he's a little bit more assertive, but I had higher expectations for him. I felt like he could have done more. He would have been more at this stage. Butcher is Butcher, man. What else do you expect? I expected him this season to be a bit more ruthless than he was at times. Which it's a little bit disappointing, because I felt like I understand why the creators probably chose that, so that he doesn't seem too negative, because they don't want him to be an evil character. They want him to be a character on the fringe of good and bad. But if you look at Butcher and you look at Homelander, are they really that different? You know what I'm saying? So if we can call Butcher a quote-unquote good guy, why can't we call Homelander a quote-unquote good guy? That's just a question y'all could answer down below. Comment down your thoughts, all of that shit. Now, I do have Homelander, the bad guy video, coming through next week. So I'm not just saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying this is the good about him. You know what I'm saying? I think he genuinely cares for his team. Like, he didn't kill A-Train after the fuck ups. He didn't kill the Deep after the Deep fucked up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of his teammates fucked up heavily. And even though he gets aggressive and threatens them, he never actually has done anything to them that we've seen thus far. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, in a way, he does like his teammates. He does love them. But sometimes it feels like they're not thinking at the same wavelength as him. But he doesn't realize that he's not all in there himself. He's not all that acute. He's not all that smart himself. But he doesn't realize this because of, you know, the shelter thing and all of that. What an intriguing character, man. And the actor, oh my god, deserves an Emmy, deserves whatever the fuck, man. Dude is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. You should watch his other shit. I think he does I think, is it Hannibal or something, one of those type of shows. I don't know if it's Hannibal. I think it's not Hannibal. It's kind of like Hannibal, but it's not. I can't remember the name of the show precisely. I'm sure somebody can comment that shit below, but it's night and day, the character. Well, it's not night and day, the character, but he's just phenomenal when it comes to emotional ambiguity. You know what I'm saying? He's amazing at this shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, man. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit that 600 mark. We coming through. We're only like 37 subs away, and I know you guys got the sauce for this. It's been your boy, man. I got friends now.